All right. Still don't have a solid audio setup, but we're just going to move ahead anyway in the spirit of the habit. Let me move my face here. Something like that. And let me move quickly. Okay, the Sicilian. Oh, and I guess I don't have my mouse either. So, yeah, not an ideal chess setup, but I haven't studied the Sicilian yet, which is probably something. I wonder if I'm at the skill level where it's worth doing. I'm not sure. That's probably a very unconventional move. But the idea is to defend my bishop coming out to b5, which my opponent is making impossible. And so then the follow-on idea here is just to c4. Let's see what my opponent wants to do now. Kind of a weak move in my opinion, but I guess getting the queen ready to come out, it's just blocking the bishop, that's all. I'm going to go ahead and now close things off for my own bishop and open the way for the dark square bishop. Bishop to g5 is kind of a natural looking move. And I think I'm going to do it. But I'm also considering just bishop to d3 with the idea of getting involved in sort of this attack on the queen side. I mean, it's not a full-blown attack yet, but my opponent's definitely brought a lot of his pieces out. So here I think I'm inclined to just take with my knight. I mean, it's such a powerful square. I don't have any interest in letting him stay there. And it also allows me to continue development of my knight. I wanted to put my knight here anyway. And now I'm also threatening. He's going to defend. And I think now I'm happy to castle. I'll go ahead and castle. So I have some ideas of pawn to f4. Might as well kick the bishop here. Not fully kicked, in the sense that my knight is still pinned. And so what are some ideas now? I could attack some of these pawns. The pawn on b7, I could attack the pawn on d6. And I can also push I'm going to go ahead and push the pawn like I had discussed doing, with the idea that if he takes, I'm just going to take back with my bishop and get my bishop out. And if my opponent doesn't take, then I'm going to continue to push my pawn. And then I'm really threatening to take his bishop unless he notices that that's my plan, which he probably will. I am kind of exposing my king here. Meanwhile, he hasn't really completed his development. That bishop is kind of just hanging back there. And so surely he'll be wanting to move that pawn forward, which he does. Now I have some options here. Well, I think first I'm going to go ahead and okay, we'll go ahead and take. And now I'm going to pester that bishop. And I mean, I guess the position is pretty dangerous for me. I'm really overextending on my king side, but I can't resist the urge to punish the bishop like that. And we'll just see if he's able to make me pay. I mean, I think it's going to be that simple. He also might not be excited about moving his queen because his queen is right now defending his knight. Java Blues, pretty solid ranking. So that's a no-brainer for me to take. Maybe he sees some mating ideas because I am going to be vulnerable after pawn takes bishop. He can bring his queen out, check. But then after I also guess I don't really need to. I don't need to take his pawn right away, do I? Or his bishop right away. I could move my knight to g3. Wait, he doesn't actually have a threat because my pawn is defending the g5 square. So after I take, what's like his big move? Maybe he brings his bishop out to c5. But I think I should have plenty of time to react. So I am going to go ahead and I guess he'll want to take. Well, let's see what he wants to do. My queen is really kind of a few moves out of action, which concerns me. So, like on the one hand, it kind of makes sense to do the rook, take back with the rook here because but really I don't think it matters. No, I mean, I think I should definitely take with the knight because the queen can defend on g4. And I just don't think. I don't think my opponent has much to threaten with. But I mean, let's see. I'm just not worried about queen to g5 if I can defend with queen to g4. Very cold room. Well, I mean, that certainly looks scary. But I'm kind of tempted to try something here. I mean, for instance, I mean, okay, this is interesting. So, like, if I mate a check with the bishop on f7, let's just assume he takes for a second. But right, if he did take, then I would have another. Yeah, so I mean, it is an option for me to put him in check here. I'm up 3 points. He probably doesn't want to take. So if he's smart, he's not going to take. Let's say he just moves to e7, still threatening now to take back the bishop with the king. Then I have to address the queen threat, but I can do that with knight to e2, both threatening the queen and then also blocking the pawn from moving forward. And that seems pretty promising. So this is aggressive, but not without some thinking. And I think there's just always room for him to make a mistake. So let's see what he wants to do. Yeah, so he's acted quickly here and to a tremendous mistake. It's interesting, like these are 15-minute games. I just spent 2 minutes thinking about my move, and he responded in 7 seconds with a move that's going to lose the game for him. I wonder what that, I wonder if there's something psychological here. Like, did I somehow sort of put him on tilt by thinking for that long? I'm not sure, but he's completely lost here. And I'm curious to analyze this a bit, just to see what would have happened had he, carried on reasonably. Probably will resign here. I don't think he has any interest in playing someone who is as slow as I am. It's no fun to be losing by this much against an opponent who's very slow. Maybe he's rage quit. I don't know. It was an interesting game. Yeah, so if he does king to e7, I don't know, maybe he's still in trouble because then I can put him in check. I mean, it's not a good position for him, I think. I think he's just really exposed. How did he get so exposed? He just never castled. And so I think the thing that I did well, is just at this point not reacting to the threat. That's all standard stuff. And then I don't know about pawn to a4, and I don't really know about this whole idea of bringing the bishop out, the light squared bishop out. So I'll be interested to see what the engine says. All right, my opponent, I think, just being a poor sport here. But I mean, he is still 3 minutes up on time, so. Guess while we wait, I don't know what kind of under what conditions this game is going to end, but I'm going to keep listening to this Eric Rosen transcript.
And what used to be my worst piece could very soon become the best piece.
So what I've been doing is I've been analyzing these live streams for kind of valuable chess wisdom, kind of trying to understand how some of the best players think. And I this part was on mute, so I want to go back to this. How do I go back? Is that it? What is Eric talking about here?
Usually I like to use animals to hurt my opponents. I used to have a whole series on YouTube. There is a video like, don't mess with my walrus, don't mess with my hippo, don't mess with my hedgehog. I have played this opening as black. Yeah, more recently it's been don't mess with my duck. Actually, I took a walk in the park today and I saw a couple.
I want to watch those
ducks.
videos. I'm wondering if Eric is kind of talking about like that structure there, that defensive structure. Like, has he named some of these structures after animals? I can find out. Because if so, he's sort of doing this thing that belongs to a category of thinking that I find really interesting, which is like when you turn pieces or formations into their own things. Like I think Hikaru's talked about juicers. In one of the chess books that I have, they talk about tall pawns, which are like underutilized bishops, and that's what the hippos are.
Okay, well, hopefully I'll be white. Magic cubed. I'm black again. I'm black like so many games. I have to improve my my coin flipping skills. Hippo says white noise. Okay, I'm gonna play a hippo. Hippo is short for hippopotamus. Hippopotamus. It means river horse in Greek. And maybe some other languages. Actually, I posted a photo of a hippo to Instagram not too long ago.
So he already knows what he's going to do.
There's hippos at the St. Louis Zoo.
I guess because his...
They're truly enormous and majestic creatures. Okay, this is a true hippo.
I don't know what makes that a hippo.
You find... Okay, if people want to just check out my Instagram, you can click the link in the chat. What is white doing? White's just being solid. Let's play c5. Ah, here's a hippo. Let's take with knight.
G6.
So this is an actual hippo. But this is a chess hippo. Whoa, free pawn. f6, c6. Well, I lost my c-pawn. I played c5 too early. f6 is terrible because it gets forked. Loses more than just a pawn. But okay, the knights are going to do action. Very hungry hippo.
I don't know if it's that instructive.
Ooh, I could win a... Oh, no, can I? Maybe I can win the g-pawn. Like takes...
Okay, my opponent resigned. Really quick game to analyze, but that's fine because maybe I can learn a little bit more about the Sicilian, and then also I'm curious, the continuation of that move toward the end. Looks like I was already winning pretty significantly. I had a brilliancy somewhere in there. I guess it probably was that move that I thought about. Yeah, so there's no problem with that move. Probably this is worse. Looks like the analysis is really slow today, so maybe we'll just bail on that. Yes, I mean, at this point, I'm winning significantly. I think we're probably even here, and then just that move that's an inaccuracy, but just seemed like a bad move to me. Taking back was a no-brainer, and then this is a no-brainer. So it's just kind of like he's just setting me up for very natural moves. So all really solid stuff here. They don't like bishop to g4. Opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. Yeah, right, having the bishops look at each other, and I probably would have had to take that. So that was a mistake. Wow, okay, so f4 really was a nice move. Good. And then I made a mistake here. So I guess they prefer, do they prefer this? That would be surprising. They say that's the best move because after knight takes back and pawn takes back and bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes. And then at that point we're just still even, aren't we? Oh no, somehow I'm up 2 pawns. Okay, I guess I just didn't track that. Whereas here the better continuation would have been to push the pawn, take back. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so that was just a mistake. And what he should have done was probably should have pulled up the pawn here. Not sure if I'm going to get a chance to and that, to me, that seems like a mistake. Is that what they're suggesting I should have done? game review doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. Having a lot of issues with it lately. Overlooked an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. I'm guessing that's what they would have liked me to do, because the bishop is then threatening the pawn? Frustrating. That's really annoying. I guess, can I do analysis? Do they think the best move here is Queen to E1? Okay. Or G4. Isn't that what I did? Didn't I do G4? And that's the second best move? All right. I'm not... Yes, I mean, at this point I was winning by a pretty good margin, but they did appreciate that move. I think being brilliant is a bit kind, but was the best move. Knight to E2.